Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 10th of September. It's almost getting exciting on the stock front and not too bad actually on the index front either in terms of the FTSE, which is making progress above 9,200 and above the floor of that rising trend channel from back in June at 91.80. Above 91.80, we're looking for as high as 94. Well, basically 94.70 as soon as the end of next month. Ideally, it would be by the end of this month, but that might be pushing it. The longer we spend above recent neckline resistance around the 92.50 level, the better. But basically, we're in that channel, and unless we get sustained price action back below the 50-day line at 90.86, we are literally thinking that there's going to be, in fact, 90.96. We are thinking that a target through 94.50 is on its way. Next on the list is the DAX, and here we've got a situation where we have bounced off the floor of its rising trend channel. That's towards the 23,600 level. Initially looking for the 50-day line there, just above 24,000 on obviously the top of the channel. By the end of next month, as high as 25,600. If you're cautious, you'll be waiting for a break of the RSI back above neutral 50. We haven't been back above that since the last week of last month, so waiting for that to be pushed back through, and then hopefully we have another leg to the upside. Dow is next, and here it successfully managed to find support at and above the 45,000 level, the old highs from the end of last year. Top of the channel there, currently heading for 47,600, and we're looking for that hopefully by the end of next month or even sooner. You can see that we're in a rising trend channel there from May last year, and the longer we stay above the 50-day line there at 44,700, and the longer we keep the RSI above neutral 50, we've had three clear bounces there, the greater the chance of a move to 47,000 plus in coming weeks. We're not expecting anything worse than that 50-day line on any rug pulls. Moving through to the cryptos, and the first one here is Bitcoin as usual, and here sandwiched between the floor of the channel there, and which is around 109, and the 50-day line there at 114. Want to see an end of day close not only back above the RSI 50 level, which we've already got, but also above that 50-day line. If we can get that, then we're looking for as high as 130,000 by the end of this month, if things go quickly. Otherwise, 130 by the end of next month. One would assume that all the Bitcoin treasury companies are buying it like it's going out of fashion on the current dip that we've had below 110. Ethereum is next, and here hopes of a move to 5,500 still alive. The only problem is that we are not able so far to get back above 4,500, which is the late August, early September resistance. But while we're above the 50-day line there, 44, 41, 74, and while we're above RSI 50, we are looking for 5,500 as soon as the end of this month, but we factored in by the end of next month. Moving along to gold, and here it's a picture of a market stretching towards our target there, the 3,800. We've had that there for quite a long time. In fact, it's 3,830 now, the top of that channel there from April. Looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above the initial September resistance around 3,600. So hopefully that will happen soon. Moving on to the stocks, and as I said in my update today, it looks as though it's second time lucky for AMG on announcing a decent deal. Here you can see that we managed to blow the lights out of the old target line there. We had around 39 pence above that. Obviously looking for the best levels from back in October towards 70 pence, and looking for that hopefully over the next 24, 48 hours. So big win there, and well done to those people who were actually either patient or had a sniff of this move in recent days. If you look closely, we were gap higher earlier in the week. Moving along to another stock which hopefully will deliver the goods, perhaps not quite in the same way as AMG or Atlas Metals. Here you've got Anpario, which has gapped up through resistance. Top of the channel there as high as £5.50. Looking at that for that by the end of this month, while we remain above recent broken resistance around the 430 mark. Obviously, today we had a very decent update from the company, and the shares were rising well after the interim results. Moving along to another situation which hopefully has delivered for the bulls, ACG Metals, and here we've been looking for £9 by, I suppose, by the end of next month. It looks like the shares might actually do that by the end of this month. You can see that the top of the channel there is from May is up to £9.40, so looking for that perhaps by the end of this month. It looks like a bit of a one-way price action over the recent past, above, especially while we're above the floor of the channel there, around £6.95, looking for 9.40 plus by the end of this month, as I said. On to another situation, which is a bit of a recovery situation, and it's Atlantic Lithium. Here we've got a situation where we managed to hit the top of the broadening triangle there, the resistance there around the 9 pence level and above that. Looking for up to 11 pence, hopefully, by, well, over the next week or two. Two RSI, in fact, three RSI rebounds above the neutral 50 level, so it looks as though a proper recovery is on the cards here. Speaking of recoveries, and it really has been an excellent couple of days for Cadence Minerals. Here you can see that managed to hit our target there at 2.5 pence and find support above it. Next level up, actually up towards the upper parallel of that line, which is heading for 4 pence, and we're looking for that sometime during the rest of this month. The other point to note is that we've broken above the old gap top there at 2.7 pence, so that is also potential support for the shares, as it already has been for the course of this morning to date. On to Chill, where another announcement today, which looks rather positive. We'll already got the shares in a rising pattern. What's probably worth noting now is the way that we bounced off the floor of that rising trend channel. We also bounced off RSI 50, and so looking for the shares to keep support at 1.75 pence ahead of potential move to 3.2 pence by the end of next month. Stock which has certainly been through the wars is Cirata, but breaking through the 200-day line now for the first time in a couple of months. That's around the 22.75 pence level. Above that, looking at the top of the range, up towards 40 pence by the end of next month. But the key here, staying above that 200-day line. On to Eco Buildings, which seems to be building a day at the moment, which is all good. The second unfilled gap to the upside. It's a bear trap island reversal, one of our favourite setups, and above the 200-day line at 5.35. Looking not only for the initial target here, October resistance line from last year at 6.25 pence, but now up to as high as 9.25 pence by the end of next month. Looks as though the shares really on their way. Another company which is on its way at the moment is Fusion Antibodies, which looks like it's in a classic mid-move consolidation. We've had 3 bounces for the RSI above neutral 50, and as little as an end-of-day close through 17.5 pence should give us a minimum on the upside towards 21 pence, maybe even 22 pence. That line looks a little bit low, and looking for that 22 pence by the end of this month while we're above the old target here, which was 14 pence. On to Genedrive, which somebody mentioned to me as a potential recovery situation. Normally that tends not to happen, but in this case, looks like it is happening. We've got bullish divergence here, so the lower low for September, but higher RSI trace. And as little as an end-of-day close back above the August support there, 0.73, could be enough to take the shares up to the top of that falling trend channel at 1.2 pence by the end of next month. So looking decent there. A lap of honour on the next two stocks. The first one is Hemogenyx. In fact, always a lap of honour around here. We've got that resistance line target there, which was hit around £9.20, £9.30. Looking for the shares now to stay above previous resistance around £7.30, so above £7.30. Looking for another attempt, maybe a final attempt on that £10, £9 to £10 area, and that resistance line projection from June last year. Even better at the moment is the situation at ImmuPharma. Here we've blown the lights on what was actually felt like a rather optimistic target there, around 11 pence, 11.2 pence, which I penciled in yesterday. We're in the run up to a golden cross there, probably a day or two away from that. And that leaves us looking for a fresh target to the upside, which will be revealed in a few seconds. It's like sort of bicycle spoke up to 18 pence while we're above the 12 pence area. So hopefully 18 pence could be hit as soon as while we're still in September, and the old resistance area towards 11, 12 pence, hopefully coming in as support on any pullback. But what a great turnaround there for ImmuPharma, and obviously the charting worked absolutely spectacularly in terms of the smooth move to the upside. Onto Landore, which is also a winner at the moment. Here you can see that we've managed to break through the initial target there around 4.75 pence, which is the top of that broadening triangle, and looking for the shares to deliver a new leg to the upside through 6 pence sometime later this month while we're above 4.75. Finishing off with a company where I've reached out to have a chat with them, but obviously so far rather busy doing whatever they do. Here we've got Medpal, where it looks as though we've got a nice intro to the market, a rising trend channel there. For the channel there around 9 pence above that, looking for 15 pence, perhaps as soon as the end of this month. RSI has been above the neutral 50 level since the end of last month, and obviously not much charting data to go on, but at the moment things looking positive and solid, especially while we're above the 50 and 200 day lines there around the 7 pence level. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.